Most people spend their entire life trying to become someone else without ever understanding who they already are. They copy habits, routines, success formulas, morning rituals, and quotes from successful people. But deep inside, nothing really changes. Why? Because success is not about becoming a different person. Success is about understanding your personality, accepting it, and then upgrading it. Jackma once said that if you try to copy others, you will never win. The world does not reward copies. The world rewards people who know who they are and use it fully. Before you ask how to become your best version, you must first answer a harder question. Who are you right now? Most people fall into patterns without realizing it. They live on autopilot. They react instead of decide. And over time, their personality becomes their prison instead of their power. Some people are born thinkers, some are fighters, some are dreamers, some are observers. None of these are wrong. What is dangerous is living with the wrong awareness. Because when you don't understand your personality, you fight yourself every day. You try to force habits that don't fit you. You chase goals that don't belong to you, and then you blame yourself for failing. There are people who are naturally cautious. They think deeply. They analyze everything. They see risks before others see opportunities. From the outside, people call them slow, fearful, or overthinking. But this personality is not weak. It is powerful when used correctly. These people are not meant to rush. They are meant to build foundations. They are planners, strategists, architects of long-term success. Their problem is not thinking too much. Their problem is waiting too long. When caution turns into delay and delay turns into fear, potential dies. To become their best version, they must learn one thing. Action does not require certainty. It requires courage. Even imperfect action is better than perfect thinking with no movement. Then there are people who are naturally aggressive and bold. They take risks. They jump before they are ready. They speak before they think. They act fast and recover later. These people are often admired for confidence and energy, but this personality also has a shadow: impatience, ego, burnout, broken relationships. These people don't fail because they lack courage. They fail because they lack patience. Their best version is not slower, it is smarter. They must learn to pause, to listen, to build systems instead of only momentum. Speed without direction is just chaos. There are people who are emotionally driven. They feel deeply, they care deeply. They get hurt easily, but they also love strongly. They are creative, intuitive, and sensitive to people and environments. Society often labels them as weak. That is a lie. Sensitivity is not weakness. Uncontrolled sensitivity is. When emotions control decisions, life becomes unstable. These people don't need to become cold, they need to become grounded. Their best version comes when they learn emotional intelligence, how to feel without drowning, how to care without sacrificing self-respect, how to stay calm in chaos. When emotional people master control, they become leaders people trust. Then there are people who stay quiet, observers. They don't speak much, they don't show much. They watch, they learn, they notice details others miss. People underestimate them because they mistake silence for emptiness, but silence often hides depth. These people are dangerous in the best way when they step into their power. Their weakness is not lack of ability, it is lack of expression. The world cannot respect what it cannot see. Their best version comes when they learn to speak up, not loudly, but clearly. Confidence is not volume. Confidence is presence. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to fix their weaknesses instead of leveraging their strengths. Jack Ma failed exams. He was rejected multiple times. He was not good at math. He was not technical, but he understood people. He understood vision. He understood persistence. Instead of trying to become someone he was not, he doubled down on what he was. That is the secret. Your personality is not your enemy. Your ignorance of it is. The moment you accept who you are, something powerful happens. You stop wasting energy pretending. You stop chasing approval. You stop comparing timelines. You start building alignment. Alignment between who you are and what you do creates unstoppable momentum. When your personality and purpose match, discipline becomes easier, focus becomes natural, confidence becomes quiet but unshakable. But acceptance does not mean limitation. Understanding your personality is not an excuse to stay small. It is a strategy to grow correctly. A cautious person must still take risks. A bold person must still learn discipline. An emotional person must still develop control. A quiet person must still claim space. Growth happens when you stretch, not when you deny. Your best version is not louder, richer, or more popular. Your best version is calmer under pressure, clearer in decisions, stronger in boundaries, and consistent in action. It is someone who no longer reacts emotionally to everything, someone who no longer needs validation, someone who understands that progress is not visible every day, but it is happening. Most people want confidence, but confidence is not something you download. Confidence is built through evidence, small promises kept to yourself, small actions repeated daily. When your personality starts trusting you, confidence appears naturally. You don't need to fake it. You don't need to announce it. The reason most people never reach their best version is because they try to change everything at once. Personality does not change overnight. It evolves through awareness and repetition. You don't fight who you are, you train who you are, like sharpening a blade, slowly, carefully, consistently. Your personality also determines your environment. Some people grow in chaos, some need structure. Some need people, some need solitude. Stop copying environments that don't fit you. If your energy drains in noise, protect silence. If isolation kills your motivation, build connection. Self-awareness is the highest form of intelligence. There is another painful truth. Not everyone will understand your personality, and that's okay. Some people will misjudge you. Some will project their fears onto you. Some will try to pull you back into a version of yourself that was easier for them to control. Growth often creates distance before it creates respect. Your job is not to be understood by everyone. Your job is to be aligned with yourself. Your best version is built when you stop asking, "How do I become like them?" and start asking, "How do I become better than yesterday?" Comparison kills personality. Progress strengthens it. Every time you choose growth over comfort, clarity over excuses, discipline over emotion, you step closer to your strongest self. This journey is not dramatic, it is quiet. It happens in the mornings when no one is watching. It happens when you choose not to react, when you choose not to quit, when you choose to keep going, even when results are invisible. That is where identity is forged. You don't need to reinvent yourself. You need to refine yourself. Remove what weakens you. Strengthen what empowers you. Protect your energy. Respect your time. Trust your pace. Most people spend their entire life trying to become someone else. They watch successful people, admire their confidence, their clarity, their authority, and then try to wear the same personality like borrowed clothes. But borrowed confidence never fits for long. Jack Ma never tried to become Steve Jobs. He never tried to become Bill Gates. He became the best version of Jack Ma, and that is why the world listened. The biggest mistake you can make is not having weaknesses. The biggest mistake is not understanding your nature. Some people are naturally thinkers. They observe more than they speak. They analyze before they act. They are slow to start, but once they commit, they go deep. The problem is, thinkers often trap themselves in preparation. They wait for certainty, they wait for confidence, they wait for the perfect plan. And while they wait, life moves forward without them. If this is your personality, your growth does not come from learning more, it comes from acting sooner. You don't need more information, you need more courage. Your best version is not louder, it is braver. Start before you feel ready. Speak even when your voice shakes. Execution will sharpen your thinking far more than overthinking ever will. Some people are naturally doers. They move fast, they take action, they don't fear mistakes, they learn by failing. Their energy is high and their momentum is strong, but their weakness is impatience. They jump without direction. They start many things but finish few. If this is you, your growth comes not from slowing down your ambition, but from adding discipline to your speed. Direction turns effort into impact. The best version of you is not calmer, it is more focused. Learn to pause, learn to finish, learn to say no to distractions, even exciting ones. Some people are natural communicators. They connect easily, they influence others, they inspire through words. People listen when they speak, but often they rely too much on talent and too little on substance. When pressure comes, words alone are not enough. If this is your personality, your next level comes from building depth behind your voice, skills, knowledge, results. When your communication is backed by competence, your presence becomes powerful. Your best version is not more talkative, it is more credible. Some people are natural supporters. They are loyal, they are empathetic, they hold teams together, they sacrifice quietly, but too often they disappear behind others' success. They give too much and demand too little. If this is you, your growth begins the moment you stop apologizing for having ambition. You are not selfish for wanting more. You are not wrong for setting boundaries. Your best version emerges when you respect your own value as much as you respect others. Now here is the truth most people never hear. No personality type is superior. Every personality can win. Every personality can fail. The difference is not who you are. The difference is whether you upgrade who you are. Your best version is not created by force. It is created by alignment. When your actions match your nature, but are sharpened by discipline, awareness, and courage, you become unstoppable. Jack Ma was rejected again and again, not because he lacked intelligence, but because the world did not yet understand his personality. He was not aggressive, he was not technical, he was not dominant. He was visionary, patient, and people-focused. Instead of changing himself to fit the world, he built a world that fit his strengths. That is the lesson. Stop fighting your personality, start refining it. Your confidence does not come from pretending to be fearless. It comes from trusting yourself enough to move forward despite fear. Your discipline does not come from punishment. It comes from clarity. When you know who you are becoming, distractions lose their power. Your best version is built in silence, in the way you manage your mornings, in the way you speak to yourself when no one is watching, in the standards you keep even when it would be easier to lower them. Growth is not loud. Transformation is not instant. The strongest personalities are not the ones that dominate the room. They are the ones that remain steady when others panic, focused when others quit, humble when others become arrogant. People think personality is something you were born with. Quiet people believe they are weak. Loud people believe they are strong. Logical people believe they are cold. Emotional people believe they are fragile. But Jack Ma once said something very uncomfortable. Your personality is not your identity, it is your habit, and habits can be changed. The biggest mistake people make after discovering their personality type is this. They start protecting it instead of upgrading it. They say, I am like this only. That sentence is the most dangerous sentence in personal growth, because the moment you accept your limitations as personality, growth stops. There are people who are dreamers. They imagine big futures, visualize success, feel inspired, but they never execute. Their personality is emotional, visionary, creative, powerful mind, weak discipline. Then there are people who are executors. They work hard, follow systems, wake up early, stay consistent, but they don't dream big enough. Strong discipline, small vision. Both are incomplete. Your best version is not choosing one personality, it is integrating multiple strengths into one identity.
Jack Ma was not confident when he started. He was not charismatic. He was rejected again and again. But he learned one thing early. The world does not reward comfort, it rewards adaptation. So he adapted his personality to his mission. If you are shy, you don't need to become loud. You need to become clear. If you are emotional, you don't need to become cold. You need to become controlled. If you are aggressive, you don't need to become silent. You need to become strategic. The goal is not to change who you are. The goal is to remove what is limiting who you could become. One of the most powerful upgrades you can make to your personality is learning how to stay calm under pressure. Most people reveal their weakest personality when life becomes hard. They panic, they complain, they react emotionally, they blame. Calmness is not personality, it is training. Calm people look intelligent even when they are not. Reactive people look weak even when they are talented. Your future version must be emotionally slower and mentally sharper. Another hard truth, people don't follow the smartest person in the room. They follow the most stable one. Stability creates trust. Trust creates influence. Influence creates opportunities. If you want to become your best version, you must stop letting your mood decide your behavior. Mood-based personalities fail. Principle-based personalities win. Stop saying, "I feel like doing it." Start saying, "This is who I am."
The best personalities in the world are boring on the surface and dangerous underneath. They don't talk too much. They don't explain too much. They don't promise too much. But when they move, things move. Jack Ma didn't win because he was the loudest. He won because he stayed when others left. That is a personality trait you can build, staying power. Your best version is built when you listen more than you speak. You observe before you react. You decide before you explain. You act before you announce. Another mistake people make is thinking confidence means having no fear. Confidence is moving with fear. The strongest personalities are not fearless. They are disciplined enough to act anyway. If you want to upgrade your personality, do this one thing daily. Keep promises to yourself, even small ones, especially small ones. Personality is built in private. Reputation is built in public. When you stop breaking promises to yourself, your voice changes. Your posture changes. Your eye contact changes. People feel it without knowing why. And understand this clearly. Becoming your best version will cost you relationships. Old versions of people will not recognize the new version of you. They will call you changed. You have changed. That's the point. Your best version is quieter, stronger, clearer, slower to react, faster to act. You don't need a new personality. You need a higher standard. And here is the final truth, the one most people never accept. The world doesn't need you to be special. It needs you to be reliable. Talent gets attention. Personality gets connection. But reliability builds empires. If you can become the person who shows up when it's hard, stays calm when it's chaotic, keeps learning when others complain, and moves forward when others stop, you don't need motivation videos anymore. You become the motivation. And remember this, your best version is not found. It is built, one disciplined decision at a time. Never ask, "Who am I?" Ask, "Who am I becoming?" Because the day you decide that, everything else starts aligning. That's how you gain your best version.